What's up, guys? Drunken Turtle here, back again with another video. Don't mind my nasally voice, I'm still getting over a cold. But while I was recovering from being sick, bedridden, Hoyle Lab decided to drop that kit for Sparkle. She comes out in a few days. Let's take a look at it. We're gonna start off with the traces here, all right? First off, we got when using a basic attack, additionally regenerates energy. That is great. Okay. Energy normally is regenerated by 20 when you do a basic attack. You're going to get a little bit more with this trace. I'm loving it. All right. That means I don't have to worry as much about energy management when it comes to her. I'm all for it. Okay. Let's get that ultimate off faster, more often. Okay. Starting off good. Uh, for her skill, crit damage boost effect provided by the skill will be extended till the start of the target's next turn. So they're probably doing this for the plain fact of, if you ever use like Bronya's effect, um, I believe it's just a one turn effect. Anything that has a one turn effect, that means as soon as you're done and it becomes the next turn, right? You're not gonna get that boost anymore. So if you get your ultimate off in the meantime, it's not gonna have that sweet extra layer of damage. But with this one, just making it go until the target's next turn means that you decide to do a whole or Tingyun ultimate, and then you get your ultimate off, because your energy regened. You want to blast them with the Bible Lune or Sela. Well, you're gonna have a little extra meat to that substance. Yeah, I'm still a little wonky. Okay, don't judge me. Look, my jokes are gonna be A class right now. For her Nocturne talent, alright, increases all allies' attacks, additionally increases the attack of quantum type allies based on the amount of quantum type characters in the team. Um, that's good. That's for her talent too. Um, right off the bat, they're kind of building her to be like that support for quantum. Not only is she for skill point management, which is in need, especially with who knows what other characters are going to come out in the future that's just going to decide be like, hey, yeah, guess what? You can enhance this if you spend 5 skill points. Whew. We already have Bible Lune who needs 3 for his enhanced basic attack to be, maxed out. So that right there is interesting that she's going to not only increase the attack of all allies, but if it's all quantum or you have more quantum units on it, you get more of a boost. So they're really trying to support that mono quantum team, which is good because for those who built QQ and Sela and haven't been really able to use them lately because they've been power crept, this will give you a reason to go back to them because my Sela's been picking up just collecting dust this whole time. I'm waiting to dust her off, before Icon comes out, get her some action. It'd be great. Oh, cool, cool. We can see technique too. So her technique grants all allies misdirect for a certain time. Characters with misdirect will not be detected by enemies, and when entering the battle in misdirect state, recovers a certain number of skill points for the team. That's great, great. One thing I used to always love to run on my characters for relic sets was the healer relic set, right? Because you get an extra skill point right off the bat. So now that I don't have to actually have to worry about that, especially with her just giving it through her technique. All right, cool. I mean, granted, I haven't ran this in a while, anyways, but just being able to start off with 4 instead of 3, it's always a nice way to just get the ball rolling, especially if you're trying to do a zero cycle on MLC. Her basic attack, you know, does a roundhouse little kick. I like that. Taste the heel. Really cool, really cool. Talent, red herring. While Sparkle's on the battlefield, additionally increase the max number of skill points. That's what I've been waiting for. All right, let's get that number up. Okay, I want 7 now. I think it's 7. Yeah, yeah, it's 7 based off the little preview. All right, 7 skill points. All right, that's what we can get up to now. That's gonna be fucking amazing. Okay, I love that. Whenever an ally consumes 1 skill point, all allies' damage dealt increases. This effect lasts for a certain number of turns and can stack up to a certain number of times. Okay, so it doesn't really tell you how much. You're gonna assume maybe 2 to 3, right? Same thing with how much it can stack up to, which is fine. That's perfectly acceptable. Anything more, I feel like would be overpowered. And then for how much it increases, who knows? But any damage increase alone is good. All right, I'm gonna take every little inch of that I can get. Skill, she doing like a Mingekyo Sharingan, like Amaterasu, but with fish. Yo, that's kind of clean. I'm not gonna lie to you. Or is it like Lelouch's Gias? Either way. Dream Diver. All right, check it out. Increases the crit damage of a target ally for a certain number of turns. Okay, cool. So you use the skill on the ally, boom, right? Crit damage goes up. That's good. That's awesome. Very similar to Bronya's attack boost when using her skill. This also causes the target's action to be advanced forward. Very Bronya-like. All right, immediately, we have basically a Bronya that's much more skill point efficient. Okay. Doesn't work on herself, just like Bronya. I'm not. I'm gonna say though, I don't think they're gonna make it 100%. Just having two units that can do 100% advance forward, I feel like it's too much. What the percentage is, we won't know until like full details come out. But assuming it's something like 50%, um, that's still gonna be really good. Especially, I don't know how that's gonna affect with Dance Dance as a light cone, but I am willing to test that out. We're going down to her ultimate. Ooh, the masks. Okay, just yeah. Ichigo in this bitch. Um, recovers a certain number of skill points for the team and grants all allies cipher. Okay, great. Her ultimate just skill point regen. I like that. I'm hoping it's at least two. Right? If it's not at least two, mm, we got enough characters that can do one. Right? I want to see two. For all allies with Cypher. Each stack of damage boost effect provided by Sparkle's talent additionally increases by a certain percentage, lasting for a certain number of turns. Okay, I'm sick here, so give me a second. Let me just make sure I interpret this right. Each stack of the damage boost provided by her talent, all right, additionally increases by a certain percentage. Okay, that's not that bad. So basically, it's just you're gonna pop Cypher, right? You're gonna pop her ultimate, and then you're gonna use whatever skill point you want. And I wonder if that pre-applies. Like if they have already had that boost, that talent on them, right? That talent boost. I wonder if the Cypher just applies it automatically. I'm hoping that's how it works. But either way, right? Worst case scenario, you have to pop her ultimate, go use Imbibe Lune. Who cares, right? Go keep her first, right? Keep her at the front. Use everyone's skill points. Boom. And then you get your extra boost. Either way, you get skill points back. You get an additional boost on the boost that she already gives. That's a win-win. All right. She seems to be very damage focused, right? Immediately increasing the skill point cap, giving skill points back. As you get skill points, you get more boost to her. Um, and just the advance forward with the crit damage, she's very attack oriented, I feel like, and the quantum is definitely an interesting aspect to her as well, being a quantum support, even if it's only a little bit. That's really cool. That's really cool. I'm liking her kit so far, but you know what I do want to know? What's her Lycone look like? Let's take a look. All right, so Lycone, check it out, check it out. Earthly Escapade. All right, I like the design so far, right? Bonus is pretty normal, nothing too crazy. A lot of health, good attack, good defense. Um, Increases the wearer's crit damage by 32% at the start of the battle. Wearer gains Mask, lasting for 3 turns. Mask will give the wearer's allies. Wow, I cannot read today. Pardon me. While the wearer has mass, the wearer's allies have their crit rate increased by 10% and their crit damage increased by 28%. For every one skill the wearer recovers, including skill points that exceed the limit, they gain one stack of Radiant Flame. And when the wearer has 4 stacks of Radiant Flame, all the stacks are removed, they gain Mask, lasting for 4 turns. Okay, all right, so let's put it simple, right? Right. First off, it gives her a flat 32% damage at E1 or S1. So 32% crit damage. That's great. Okay. Start of the battle, she gets mask, 3 turns. Okay, cool. That's a good amount of turns to have it for. Your allies are getting a crit rate boost and a crit damage boost. Okay, cool. Every time she gains a skill point, right? She gets a stack of the Radiant Flame. Okay, simple. And then once she has 4, it it reapplies mask, and it lasts for 4 turns this time. That's pretty good. Um, that's pretty good. The only thing I don't like, I mean, it's not that I don't like it. It's probably overpowered. It has to be her gaining the skill points, but I'm assuming that they're putting in, they're including her ultimate as a condition, right? So, you're gonna want to use skill with her a lot, right? Plain and simple. She's a buff unit similar to Bronya, advanced forwarding, crit damage boost. Okay, you're gonna want to keep using skill with her. And if she's doing her job right, though, that's the thing. You're not gonna run out of skill points, not easily. So you essentially, if you're getting 2 skill points, I don't know how many skill points you get. I'm assuming 2. Assuming you're getting 2 skill points with ultimate, right? That seems like the correct number for ultimate, at the max level. Maybe not, I don't know. Um, but assuming you're getting 2 skill points for ultimate, maybe 1 for basic attack, that means within the first 3 turns, you're gonna have to basic attack, ultimate, if you want to keep this applied to all points. That's not a great rotation, obviously. Um, Overall, it's good. It's probably not necessary though. There's a lot of other free-to-play light cones or just other light cones in general that you can use with her. Harmony, thankfully, is one of the better categories when it comes to light cone availability, and you got plenty of choices when it comes to that. Ooh, what's this? Oh, okay, light cone previews. What's on? I'm assuming what's going to be on her banner for light cones. Um, Planetary Rendezvous. There you go. Perfect choice, right? You're gonna want to run her in a quantum team. A lot of people probably are going to. You can run her obviously in other teams with Imbibe de Lune and other skill point heavy characters, especially in the future. But if you're playing free to play, you don't want to pull a light cone, or you have just yeah, horrible pulls. All right. Planetary Rendezvous is not a horrible option, especially if you're just gonna run her in a quantum only team. Um, And then the other ones are Destruction and Erudition. Still interesting how they're going to the when the where defeats an enemy uh, style of play. All right, with everything in mind, right? So let's take a look and see what kind of team comps we can build with Sparkle. So first and foremost, right, you're gonna be looking at where are they? Oh, Bronya. All right, Bronya. Not gonna be used, right? You're not gonna want to use her, but you are gonna want to use. Don't mind that purple boots there. I'm gonna work on that. You want to build her similar to Bronya though. Just I feel like with more speed. Okay, speed's gonna be an important thing. Keeping her in front to be able to generate those skill points for your team, give them the boost. It's gonna be very important. Crit damage, same thing, right? Getting that crit damage up. You're gonna need that. You're gonna want that. As per the actual relics themselves, I'd probably use the speed set, right? You're looking at messenger. You're gonna maybe want to either go full messenger. You could also go into the health set as well for the max HP bonus. I feel like stats with her are gonna be more important than the actual relic set bonuses themselves. Um, Energy regen probably still gonna be important. I would still put that on with her, but it's not necessary, right? Yeah, I feel like you would almost want to go defense if you really, really need that survivability, defense health. As for actual defense sets, you're gonna want to go effect res, or even just any of the ones that will just boost up your team, the crit damage, give you the bonus attack power. Nothing to really boost herself. She's not really gonna need it. She's a support. You're gonna want to support your team the whole way through. As for light cones, Bronny's light cone actually wouldn't be that bad for her. Increases the NG regen, right? Gives you an extra skill point when you do your ultimate. Even though it's not a consistent thing because you have to wait 2 turns for it to affect again, it's still not going to be too bad, right? And then the skill, then the ally next up gets a 30% damage bonus. Pretty good. All right. As for that as well, carve the moon, weave the clouds. I would say that's more like a C tier option, right? It's a good light cone. It's just the RNG on what effects come off can really make or break um, your rounds, right? Especially when you're in harder content. You want consistency when it comes to MLC and just harder content. And even though the effects can be really good, like as you can see right here, I got super in position 5 on mine. So all the effects are awesome, but I just don't know which one's gonna pop off. So that can be a problem. Dance Dance. I think this right here is gonna be great, right? I just don't know how it's going to affect with the built-in advance forward, um, with the actual advance forward for the light cone. But all allies being advance forward is definitely going to be something that you're going to want to utilize. Dance Dance, I feel like for any Harmony unit, as long as they buff somebody, um, not buff somebody, I'm sorry, uses their ultimate um, to buff, I feel like just the additional advance forward is extremely good. Even in Sparkle's case, where it's just giving skill points essentially, still being able to, get your team forward further up the line, so that way they can use those skill points. Solid. Memories of the past. I wouldn't really go with it. It's just not gonna be breaking, right? You could use it for the energy regen if you really care, but I wouldn't. Um, Past and future. It depends. Past, you have to see. We have to actually see what her advance forward is. You can use that for an additional buff to your ally who goes next, but if it's not going to be significant enough to put them ahead, um, of the line, essentially, like say you're running Bobby Lune, I run him slow, right? So he's gonna be on the bottom, but if she's first, and it's not gonna that 50 whatever percentage it is, if that's not gonna bump him up to be the next character to go, that's gonna be a wasted opportunity. And then obviously Planetary Rendezvous, you know, same type, especially if you're gonna run Quantum, very good. That's all I got personally. I'm just gonna review based off what I have. If you have something else that you think might work, some more free to plays. I know a whole bunch of new free to plays came out. Um, hey, you know what? I would recommend you taking a look at your own roster of light cones. That's what I say when going. People recommending certain light cones are great, especially if you have them all. But if you're somebody who doesn't pull as much on light cone banners, you might not have the options. But those would be my recommendations. So, Imbibe Lune, right? Obviously, first choice. Um, that's who I'm going to use Sparkle with mainly. Between him and Sela, right? These two. This one for the Quantum team. For a Quantum team, I probably am going to go Sela, Silverwolf, and Fushuan. Very basic Quantum team. And then Sparkle. Nothing too crazy. I don't have QQ built, and that's the only issue, right? I don't even know where QQ is on my roster. Don't mind my roster. There she is, QQ. I don't even have her built. If you do have QQ and Sela, um, you could almost do a double DPS scenario, I feel like, uh, and then do Fushuan as your sustain. I feel like that would also be a good option as well. Um, you do have Zhu Yi, um, which can be used as a sub DPS. I feel like help break them shields and get Sela to do the final blows to trigger the resurgence. That wouldn't be a bad strategy if you're going full quantum. Personally, like I said, I'm going to go Imbibitor. I feel like an Imbibitor with Sparkle, with whoever else I want for sustain and support or sub DPS is going to be amazing. Especially since Sparkle can advance forward. I'm running a slow Imbibitor. So, if I can run a fast Sparkle, I just have to see what the speed tuning is going to be like, but it could turn out to be really good. It's going to be a little finicky. I might have to bump him up a little bit on the speed category, but just somebody to look after. Um, Jing Yuan, no one talks about him. Mid Yuan or King Yuan, depends on what side of the fence you are. Um, when I ran him, one thing I noticed is I always had an issue keeping his skill active because you're gonna want to use his skill a lot because that's how you're gonna build up your stacks for your follow-up attack. Um, and especially if you're gonna run people like obviously when I was running Bronya, Jinyuan, Tinyan, and Sustain, I never had enough skill points. Or I would even run Kafka. Not Kafka. Yeah, Kafka. I could run Kafka with him once in a while. It depends on how you're building them. I think Sparkle will be a good addition to him, especially with the crit damage. Being any follow-up attack characters, I feel like she's gonna be good for too as well. Dr. Ratio is gonna be nice. You have a few different options here. I'm not gonna go through all my characters, but Topaz with Sparkle with Dr. Ratio or Jinyuan would be pretty good. To keep the skill points up, everyone uses because everyone's very skill heavy, especially. So having enough skill points just to be able to pop everyone's skill off every single time, or at least 90% of the time, will be, just beneficial overall to your DPS. Um, Welt, I was running if you want, I feel like anyone that is generally very skill heavy. Well, for example, where you can use them in a few different categories as a break effect unit, just to slow down your enemies for like a pseudo sustain. Um, I remember running him with an imbibitor, um, Welt, and then whoever else I had on the team, running that double imaginary DPS and then sub DPS is probably possible now. Again, though, the tuning is going to be a little funky. You have to mess with that tuning. Just a few options there. Of course, everyone's list is different. I just wanted to show you something based off my list, what I can possibly do, and what I'm looking forward to experimenting with. Having the availability of more skill points, I feel like opens up a few new paths when it comes to team comps, especially when we don't know who's coming in the future. All right, we got Archon. I don't know what her kit is yet. All right, I don't know if you guys looked at the leaks. I didn't look at anything. But I'm excited to see who else comes out and who I can utilize her with. Just being able to have a Harmony unit that gives me more skill points is going to allow me to kind of mess around with more skill point heavy teams and hopefully come up with some crazy combos. But in the meantime, I hope you guys have enough Stella Jade saved up for the upcoming banners. We got Sparkle, we have Archon and Aventurine. Archon and Aventurine being the next banner. Um, if you don't think she's going to be someone that will benefit your team right now, I would say save, right? We don't, or at least save until we know what's what the next banner is going to be, and what the kits are, right? We have the live stream that comes in about 1.5 to 2 weeks after the banner drops. She'll still be available. If you don't like what the next banner or two banners is going to be, then pull her. But you got to play it safe, especially if you're not a whale. Um, every Stella Jade counts, man. Every Stella Jade counts. But that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. Check me out on Twitch at Drunken Turtle X. I'm going to be streaming the part two banners. And yeah, you guys have yourselves a great day. I'll catch you later.